Elon Musk, the Pentagon, war plans with China? That's what the headlines claimed. But was he really about to receive a top-secret military briefing, or was this all just another media spin? Today, we break down what really happened inside that 80-minute meeting, why the White House and Pentagon scrambled to deny the reports, and why Musk himself is calling for prosecutions over this story. The deeper you look, the more complicated it gets. Let's dive in.
Tech billionaires at the Pentagon. That's a headline that makes you go, huh, what's going on here?
Yeah, it does feel a little bit like something you'd see in a movie.
Like a political thriller or something like that. And, you know, our listeners, you guys are on top of things. So many of you reached out about this saying, hey, what's the deal with Elon Musk's trip to the Pentagon on March 21st? What's really going on there?
Yeah, and you know what's interesting is this whole thing kicked off such a storm of info from every angle.
Right.
You got the New York Times, the Wall Street Journal, even the Sun over in the UK.
Oh, yeah. People.com, the Post, El Huff Post. It seems like everyone had a take on this.
The Guardian, Politico, Reuters.
NPR, ABC.
Oh, yeah. And, of course, we can't forget the official word.
Right.
Trump himself weighed in on Truth Social. Then you had Secretary Hegseth and Parnell from the Pentagon all making statements like, everyone wanted to get their 2 cents in.
So much noise.
Yeah.
So much noise.
Yeah.
That's why we're doing this deep dive. We're going to cut through the clutter, get to the bottom of this whole Musk-Pentagon thing, lay it all out for you so you can see what really went down.
I think that's important because it's not just about Musk. It's about something bigger, right?
Oh, yeah.
It's about how tech, power, money, national security, all these huge things are bumping into each other.
Global players.
Yeah, global players for sure.
Right, so rewind back to March 20th, 2025.
Okay.
The New York Times drops this report saying Musk is scheduled for a super secret briefing at the Pentagon.
Uh-oh.
And it's not just any briefing, it's about potential U.S. war plans with China.
Whoa.
These are called O plans, operational plans.
Yeah, these are like the top secret blueprints.
Right.
They lay out exactly what the U.S. military would do in different situations.
They're not messing around.
Troop movements, resource allocation, the whole 9 yards.
This is serious stuff.
It's deadly serious. I mean, you think about it. If China got their hands on these plans, it could be a disaster for the U.S.
Huge strategic disadvantage. And the Times is saying Musk, a private citizen, was going to get briefed on this.
That's what set off the alarms.
Right. And it wasn't just them. The Wall Street Journal, the Sun, El Huff Post, all these outlets were running similar stories.
Yeah, it was like suddenly everyone was talking about Musk getting access to the nation's most sensitive secrets.
But hold on, because then things take a turn.
Oh, yeah, buckle up.
Because the official pushback starts coming in hot.
It's like a wave.
Big time.
Yeah.
First up, Trump himself on Truth Social, he flat out says, no way any talk about China with Musk is totally false.
Straight from the Todd.
And he even says something like, you know, I'm not sure it's such a good idea to be sharing this kind of info with a guy who does so much business in China.
Interesting point.
Right.
Yeah, because that's the thing. Musk has a huge footprint in China.
Huge.
Especially with Tesla. That gigafactory in Shanghai pumps out a ton of cars.
Yeah.
And then there's SpaceX government contracts.
So right away, people are starting to wonder about conflicts of interest.
Yeah.
Then we get a statement from Defense Secretary Hegseth. He tries to cool things down.
Damage control.
He's like, listen, the meeting with Musk is happening, but it's informal. No top secret O plans on the table. He says they're going to be talking about, you know, innovation, efficiency, stuff like that, making the Pentagon run better, basically.
It's a frame-lining thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But the Pentagon isn't done yet. Their spokesperson, Sean Parnell, he comes out swinging, calls the initial reports completely fake, says Musk is a patriot through and through, and the Pentagon is proud to have him there.
So now we have 2 very different stories.
Yeah.
Secret war plans, briefing, or casual chat about innovation.
Which is it?
Well, Musk himself didn't stay quiet for long.
Never does.
Not a chance. He goes on X, formerly Twitter,
Yeah,
and he doesn't mince words.
Right to social media.
Calls the New York Times report pure propaganda. He even says the Pentagon officials who leaked the false info should be prosecuted.
Whoa, throwing down the gauntlet. So what actually happened on March 21st? Did Musk waltz into the Pentagon and get briefed on all those top secret plans?
Okay, so here's the reality check. Musk did meet with Hegseth at the Pentagon on the 21st.
Okay.
The meeting lasted about 80 minutes, but here's the key. It did not involve the Joint Chiefs of Staff, and it did not take place in the tank.
Okay. The tank, explain that.
All right, so the tank officially The Joint Worldwide Intelligence Communications System Briefing Center, or JWICS for short. It's basically this super secure room in the Pentagon where they discuss the most classified stuff. Like, you don't get in there unless you have a need to know.
Super serious.
Yeah,
So the fact that Musk's meeting wasn't in the tank tells us something.
definitely.
What's the word on the street then? What do they actually talk about?
Well, everything points to innovation and efficiency,
Right.
like Hegseth said.
You're like getting things running more smoothly at the DoD.
Yeah, things like, how can the Pentagon adopt new technologies faster? How can they cut down on waste? That kind of thing.
Okay, so not war plans.
Not war plans.
But still, even with the meeting being about, innovation and stuff, the conflict of interest concerns don't just disappear.
They don't. It's still a tricky situation.
Because like we said, Musk's business interests in China are huge.
Tesla is doing massive business there.
Yeah, and then he's running SpaceX, which has all these contracts with the U.S. government, the same government he's now meeting with.
Yeah, it's complicated. You have lawmakers and ethics experts saying, wait a minute, is this okay?
Right.
Should someone with such deep ties to China also be advising the U.S. on defense matters?
It's a valid question.
It is. It's a question about loyalty, about priorities, about where your allegiances lie.
And then there's the media reaction,
Oh, yeah, the media went wild with this.
especially The Sun.
They love a good controversy.
They ate it up. Headlines about Musk, Pentagon secrets, China. It was a feeding frenzy.
It really blew up in the public, too. People debating whether it's okay for private citizens with global businesses to be involved in national security discussions.
Big questions.
Really big questions, like what is the role of these tech giants? Where do they fit in the world?
So, listeners, here's the bottom line. Those first reports about Musk getting a top-secret war briefing,
Yeah,
they seem to have been off the mark.
it looks that way.
The official accounts, the meeting details, all point to a much more standard meeting about innovation, not war plans.
But the fact that this whole thing blew up the way it did tells us something important.
Right.
It shows that we're in uncharted territory here. Powerful tech leaders, national security, global business, it's all tangled up and we're still figuring out how it all works.
That makes you think about how we stay informed in this kind of world.
Right.
With information flying around from everywhere.
Too much noise.
How do we sort through it all? How do we figure out what's real and what's not? Who to trust?
It's tough. You have to look at the different angles, consider the motivations, be skeptical, be critical.
Exactly. And hopefully this deep dive is giving you the tools to do just that.
That's the goal, to empower you to think for yourselves and draw your own conclusions.
Because at the end of the day, that's what matters.
Absolutely.
All right, so that's our take on the Musk-Pentagon saga. Stay tuned for more deep dives coming soon.
See you next time.
And in the meantime, keep those questions coming.
We're listening.
We're always listening.
So, was this just a routine discussion about efficiency, or is there more to the story? The truth is murky, and the stakes are high. What do you think? Was Musk's Pentagon visit as harmless as they claim, or is there something deeper at play? Let's talk about it in the comment.
Want more? Premium members get deeper dives and support Truth Titan all at the same time. You'll get 4 exclusive deep dive podcasts every month, our weekly Truth Titan newsletter, and 10% off all gear in our shop. Speak truth to power as a premium member for only $9 a month. Click the podcast link in our bio to sign up.